Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be another video for my Tag Tuesday series. I absolutely love tags. Those are one of my favorite videos to watch and I like to film them, but for some reason I just haven't been doing them recently that much. So that's why a couple of months ago I decided start doing these Tag Tuesday videos. So today's tag is going to be the makeup shopping tag, and this is created by Chic Geek. I will link her video and her channel down below. Definitely go check her out. I'm pretty sure that if you are into similar content than mine, like into project planning and that kind of thing, you probably know her already. She does a lot of project planning videos, but also other different interesting videos, like a lot of tags. And one thing is that she uploads a lot of videos, like she uploads often, and that is something that I really do appreciate. And this is a tag about your makeup shopping habits, and this tag has 10 questions, and I think this is a really interesting tag. One thing that I want to mention before we get to the actual questions is that my makeup consuming habits are really kind of like in a chains right now. Previously I was a total shopaholic. I considered myself to be a makeup collector. I bought makeup just to have it in my collection and I didn't really mind if I didn't use it that often. Currently I am doing a year-long beauty replacements only no buy, and I can really see my makeup consuming habits changing. I don't want to collect any more makeup. All the makeup that I want to have in my collection and what I want to buy in future, I really want to use. Not necessarily use up. I don't think that's always realistic. Even though I am project planner, I know it's not realistic to use up, for example, all of the eyeshadows I have in my collection, but I don't want to buy something for the sake of collecting anymore, and I try to avoid buying duplicates and that kind of things, and in future I want to be really mindful about the purchases. Let's get into these questions because I think these are super interesting. Okay, so the question number one is, where do you shop for makeup? I personally do shop in very different places, and there is not really one place where I can get everything. I am a cruelty-free and vegan makeup shopper, and I do live in Finland. And unfortunately, the selection of those products that I can purchase is not the best here, and many times the products can be really overpriced. For example, Urban Decay products I can get from Finland, but they are often so expensive that I just cannot justify it. The product can be here in Finland like 10 euros more expensive than what it is if I order it from UK. Some brands I will need to order, or I choose to order from the brand websites. For example, Tarte is this kind of brand. Tarte is, as far as I know, not available in any European retailer. So if I want to get my Shape Tape concealer, I need to order it from Tarte website directly. Another brand that I would order from their website is BH Cosmetics, because the prices are lower there, and they always do have these crazy sales when everything is like 30% off or something like that. And then there are certain online stores that sell different brands that I purchase from, so I want to mention some of those. So there is really only one website like this outside of EU, and that is iHerb, and iHerb is based in US. They do sell a lot of affordable, cruelty-free and vegan skincare, hair care, even makeup. And right now I just cannot spend a lot of money to products like skincare. They do have brands like Acure, which is like my favorite brand. Then I do have some staples from Alba Botanica, from Derma E, from Andalou Naturals. So I can get those from only iHerb. Then they do sell Giovanni hair care and hair styling products, and Giovanni is one of my favorite affordable, cruelty-free, almost vegan hair care, hair styling product brand. And also I can get some makeup brands with so much lower cost from iHerb, for example ELF, Physicians Formula, Pixie. So iHerb is the only outside of Europe place where I do shop for regularly. Then I do have some online stores in UK that I shop for more or less regularly. Right now I don't buy that much because I am doing the no buy, but overall these are my favorite stores. They do have amazing selection. So Beauty Bay is maybe the biggest one. They do have so great selection of different brands. They do have everything from drugstore to high-end to indie. It's probably like my favorite online store besides iHerb. Then a couple of other stores are Feel Unique. I most of the times buy my Urban Decay products from there because once you place an order once for Feel Unique, you will get always 10% discount of one brand, and I have chosen Urban Decay. And then one more website is Cult Beauty. If I want to get Too Faced, we don't have Sephora's here in Finland, so unless I'm going to be able to travel somewhere where there is Sephora, Cult Beauty is really the place where I do shop for Too Faced. Now I must say it's not my favorite brand anymore, but it used to be. But yeah, also in Cult Beauty I can order my Holy Grail Silver Shampoo, which is the Bleach London Silver Shampoo. But those are top online stores where I shop for. Then there are a couple of stores here in Finland where I do shop for the most. Sokos is probably the main one. They do have probably the best selection of beauty brands here in Finland. But then there are also a couple of supermarkets that I buy from. So Prisma is one, they do sell Revolution, and I can get some Mossa skincare products. And then City Market is the last store that I want to mention. Most of the times I do buy my Eyelure lashes from there because they are maybe a little bit more affordable there, but also City Market sells Catrice and Essence. I think it took forever for me to answer to this question, but you know, that only shows that I cannot get everything that I need from one place. I can imagine that if I lived in US, I would most likely buy most of my products from Ulta or then from a drugstore. I wouldn't need to, you know, gather all of my products from different places. Okay, then the question number 2. What is your budget, high-end or drugstore prices? I touched on this quickly previously, but right now it is definitely drugstore, especially with those products that I will need to repurchase, let's say, more often than in every 6 months. So skincare products, hair care products, and what comes to makeup, foundations, powders, brow products, eyeliners. So I want to buy as affordable as I can. Right now I just don't have a lot of extra money to spend on makeup. However, I do have some exceptions to this. For example, I do love the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, but because it is in such a big tube, the product will actually last almost a year on me, so that's why I don't mind spending a little bit more on that because it will last so long on me. And then another one that I want to mention is the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Usually the high-end setting sprays come in bigger bottles and the drugstore ones come in smaller bottles. So many times you would actually need to buy a couple of drugstore setting sprays to get as much product as there is in high-end setting sprays. Not all the times, but often. Now I must say that this year I haven't been buying products that are not like replacements. For example, eyeshadows, cheek products, lipsticks, I haven't bought at all this year. And in future, I don't want to go back to buying those products crazily, but I can see myself once in a while treating myself with this kind of product. And in that case, I don't mind if I will spend a little bit more and buy a high-end product. Question number 3 is, do you shop more online or in store? I definitely do shop more online, but I do shop some makeup in stores. I would say I maybe buy like 75% online and 25% in stores. But if I had better selection of makeup that I could buy in stores here in Finland, then I probably would buy more from stores. It's just the availability of brands that I choose to buy from. It's not that great here, and you know, I'm not willing to pay like 10 euros more for a product choose to get it from store if I can order it for lower cost online. But I must say that I would rather buy products like foundations and other complexion products and maybe even lipsticks so that I could really see what the color is. I would rather buy those products from store, but unfortunately it's not always an option for me, so in that case I just need to look a lot of swatch pictures and videos from the internet. Question number 4 is, do you go makeup shopping with other people? Not really. I honestly don't have people in my life who are as much into makeup as I am, except for my sister, but she lives in a different city than I. She lives in my hometown and I live in a city where my husband is from, so we don't see it that often anymore. My husband is actually the only person I have brought with me to makeup shopping, and let me tell that he absolutely hates it, so I don't want to do it anymore. And you know, I don't blame him. Like, for me, makeup is a hobby and it's something I love. His hobby is fishing, and I would never go with him to shop for fishing equipment. But he has come in the past, especially if we have been traveling and I have wanted to go for Sephora. But nowadays, in future, if that happened, I would just ask him to go to a coffee nearby to wait for me, and I wouldn't take him with me because honestly he doesn't care. Like, yes, he does like it when I have done my makeup and he often compliments me, but he doesn't want to be there to see me spending money. However, sometimes he might be with me in a town, like if I need to pick something from Sokos, for example, and my husband is with me, then I might just go in, pick the product that I need and pay for it and leave. But in that case I wouldn't, you know, stay there to look something to want. Question number 5 is, how do you talk yourself out of a purchase? Right now it's pretty easy because I'm doing this no buy year, so if it is not a replacement product, I'm not going to buy it. It is as simple as that. I think after my no buy year, I hope that I am in a place where I really don't have to talk myself out of wanting something. And I definitely feel that I am quite there already. If there is a new release, most of the times I am not interested in it whatsoever. And sometimes the product may be interesting looking and something that I might even enjoy. But at the same time, when I look at it, I can see that I have similar things in my collection already and that I don't need it. And I think after my no buy year, when it comes to purchases, I need to limit myself somewhat. I think I'm going to do some sort of a beauty budget and I'm going to set some makeup collection goals. I don't want to spend too much money on makeup anymore, and I don't want to have that much makeup anymore that I will get overwhelmed by my collection. Then question number 6 is, what makeup product is your favorite to buy? Previously it was definitely eyeshadows. And eyeshadow is not even my favorite makeup product, but for some reason I loved buying eyeshadow palettes. When I found a new brand, I always went to the brand website to first check what eyeshadow palettes they do have to offer. I don't know, there is just something interesting in that. However, I think that even after my no buy year, I am going to continue an eyeshadow no buy for 1 year because I do have so much eyeshadow in my collection that I cannot get use out of everything. So I think next year I want to focus on panning eyeshadows. I'm thinking of doing Pantat palette as well as the Pantos eyeshadow series. This year I have been just rotating through everything and my goal is to use all of my eyeshadows once this year, so for that I'm doing the Shop My Shadow series. But yeah, I don't see myself ever going back to buying eyeshadows like I bought them previously. Lipstick is another favorite product of mine to purchase. Lipstick actually is my favorite makeup product in general, so yeah, that's always something kind of like fun to purchase. I think after my no buy year, I'm probably going to do like 2 out 1 in type of system with lipsticks. I think that could work for me because I'm not quite at my makeup collection goal with lipsticks yet. So that way my inventory number would go down, but at the same time I could once in a while treat myself with lipstick, but that way I couldn't go back to my old way of purchasing lipsticks. I remember when my makeup shopping addiction was the worst, I might on an evening when I had nothing to do sit down to my floor and swatch all of my lipsticks and look for new lipsticks to want from the internet. So don't want to go back to that anymore. So yeah, those were my favorite makeup products to buy, but to be honest, I don't really have a favorite product to buy right now, because right now I'm doing this no buy year, so if I need to buy a replacement product, I buy it or I order it, but it doesn't really make me feel certain way. Like I don't get excited if I purchase a replacement foundation or a replacement brow pencil. Question number 7 is, what brand are you loyal to? Now, I am not really loyal to any brand in a way that if they release something, I would want to purchase the product. However, there are products that I am loyal to. So I am somebody that if I find a holy grail product, I will keep buying that until it gets discontinued. I am just going to show you 2 examples really quickly. The Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. This is my favorite full coverage foundation. It works so well, so I have no interest trying another full coverage foundation. Now I do want to find a more natural foundation for more like everyday wear, but this is my favorite full coverage one, so I don't need to try another one. Then what comes to mattifying setting spray, the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. It's just my favorite, so I don't want to try another mattifying setting spray. However, I do want to find more hydrating or dewy setting spray. So like this, I can be really loyal to products, but I am not really loyal to brands. Okay, question number 8. What other things do you spend fun money on? Definitely clothes. I love fashion and I love buying clothes. I do work in a clothing store, and that's one reason why I love buying clothes, and I have actually tried to buy less, and I think I'm doing better right now, because that totally was kind of like an addiction for me to buy too much clothes, the same way that I did previously buy too much makeup. I think with clothes it's a little bit more complicated, because I do work in an environment where I do see these clothes all the time. That's why I sometimes might slip and purchase a really fashionable item, even if I know that it's not something I want to wear even like next season. I try to avoid that, but sometimes it just happens, but I'm trying to be better. However, I find that this question is really interesting, because right now I am at a situation with my money where my priority is really not to have fun with my money. Right now my priorities are more like in adulting type of things. Like my husband and I are really looking to buy a house in next few years, and I just cannot afford right now to spend a lot of money to have fun. Previously we traveled a lot, but right now it's just not in our budget. I don't say we will not travel ever again, I'm sure we will. There are a lot of different places I want to see, but right now it's just like not our top priorities. When I think about fun, I don't want to do things that cost too much. And to be honest, for me, fun things are something I can do free at home or a really low cost in home. Like watching YouTube videos is fun for me, filming YouTube videos is fun for me, and then I love to watch sports on the TV. Well, of course I will need to pay for the service. Like for example, I love watching Formula 1, and that cost me 25 euros to get the service that shows that in Finland a month. But like it's not that much. Like, I try to kind of like think that having fun doesn't need to cost a lot. Okay, so question number 9 is, who influenced you to buy the most makeup? Beauty influencers for sure. I would say my top 3 are Emily Noel. I am still subscribed to her, I really do love her, but I must say I don't really watch her videos that much, because right now when I'm trying to shop less, it's not really good for me to watch the type of content she's making. Yeah, it just has a bad influence on me to watch that. Like, I start wanting things that I didn't even want before. But I do love Emily, so that's why I'm still subscribed to her. Then I would say two others, for those I'm not anymore subscribed to, but two others are Tati and Kathleen Lights. Those are probably the ones that have really influenced me and my makeup purchase choices the most, especially since all of those have like a nice mix of high-end and drugstore makeup that they review and have always reviewed. When with some influencers, I think what happens is that when they get bigger, they only review high-end stuff or luxury stuff. And then the final question is question number 10. What was your last purchase? So I bought from Prisma this Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C3. So this is my favorite concealer to highlight my face with, and currently I am trying to pan a Colourpop concealer that I use on my under eye, but I need to mix in with this concealer. And this thing is just something that I run out of so quickly. So the current one I haven't had more than about a month, and I already had to take this topper out because I just go through this so quickly. But yeah, this was something that I purchased maybe a couple of days ago. Okay, so that was everything. Those were all of the 10 questions. I really loved to answer these. I think this video came much longer than I anticipated it to come, but anyways, I do love filming tags. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video and see you in my next one. Bye bye.